So now we are in week 4 of our Advent season of Waiting with Hope Through Dark Times. And the theme of this 4th week is into abundance. And we have a very rich image before us. So Rick, talk to us about this painting.
This is my wonderful friend, Pfizer, who I used to run an art centre with her. And she's an amazing artist as well, and such a joyful, vibrant person. And so she was just the right person to pose for this photo that I've screen printed for this image. And she's there joyfully launching this whole cloud of butterflies into the world. Beauty, life, abundance, joy, all of that. And I loved the image that Ian plays with in his poem as well, when he talks about as a child, when you hold, and everyone's done this, that when you catch a butterfly in your hands and you can just feel it flitting in your hands, and that feeling that you're holding this fragile life that's just really bursting to get out. And really that's what I've tried to capture with this image. And all of the paintings in this series are about gateways into sacred space and experiences that are gateways into sacred space. And a lot of those moments are really hard. You know, that they're moments of loss and grief and lack of direction, or moments of unknowing and disintegration. But, you know, just now and then we have these moments of joy. And we have these moments of plenty and exuberance, and wow, and don't we need it at the end of 2020? Yeah, so it's really, for me, this is just an image of pure joy.
So that, again, well, there's a couple of things there. Was it intentional that she looks quite kind of, you know, is quite Marian? Like, again, the sense of expect and hope seems to be really strong in that image.
Well, this is kind of the magic of using images in different contexts. So now, if we use this image in the context of the Advent story, then yeah, maybe she becomes Mary. I mean, Faisal wears a hijab all the time anyway, and actually has done some really interesting work as an artist on people's attitude to her wearing the hijab. And she's she's can speak very strongly and confidently and interestingly about why she wears it. But yeah, that's really interesting to see that through that lens now in Advent. That maybe this is Mary launching life out into the world.
Exactly. I mean, the other really strong image there, which I think again speaks to our context in this season of Advent in the middle of this global pandemic, is that, you know, those two rival visions, isn't there? Is like the idea of we live in a world of scarcity where it's all about making sure we don't get burnt out, don't get too committed to things, avoid having any commitments. It's largely driven by fear, I think, and the need to be in control. And the other, which I think is the gift of the Advent season, is around, well, actually, that we are blessed by a God with that our day contains everything that we need in it. So that rival vision, less around fear and scarcity and much more about abundance and joy and openness. Do you know what I mean? So there's almost two different visions going on here, and I find it so fascinating with Mary, who's like, you know, she's oppressed, she's had a really tough life, continues to have a really tough life, and yet there's this real focus on abundance in this season. And so it's not about how much money you have or how much power you have or what resources you have, but there's something about that abundance comes from that spiritual liberation that we talked about last week, but comes into this idea of abundance.
Yeah, and I think it's about the stories we tell ourselves, you know, and I think particularly so the church often buys into this narrative about itself, about scarcity, of, oh, you know, we've not got enough people, we've not got enough money, we've not got enough of this or that. You know, is God really limited by that? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
And so let's change the story that we tell about ourselves. You know, that there is this rich stream and flow of life that is there. It's there for us.
Yeah. So is that, and I love the way that image is just full of life. That's what I love about it. And and boy, does that feel like it's been missing for a little while, but the sense that we can live that way by intentionally focusing on it, where
Yes.
we feel our freedoms have been somewhat curtailed. I think so. There's something really beautifully liberating. I think also transcendent. I mean, the way she's looking up, and I find it quite a transcendent piece as well, which really moved me. Hence why we've used it for the main image for this thing. Yeah. So. Yeah.
And we need to wait for this. You know, these butterflies, they don't live very long, and you know, before these images, not long back, they were tight in chrysalis. You know, they look like dead, shriveled husks. So wait and wait and wait, and one day soon, the beauty's going to burst out.
Thanks, Rick.